Shalom all, Stacy the Blackfeather Intuitive. Welcome to another Pop Culture Readings. Around here, we're all about curiosity, clarity, and courage, understanding ourselves, each other, and the beautifully messy mystery of being human. And today, this curiosity takes us to AI versus celebrity reality. What can we really trust? Apparently, peeps, we've reached the point where seeing is no longer believing. So if AI can fool our eyes, maybe it's time to dust off that Spidey sense and ask what we can actually trust. So this one is a little bit freaky, and I just did another pop culture reading last week on Ryan Gosling, so feel free to check that out. We talked about him as the Ghost Rider, and apparently he's made it into our readings again. Here's the heart of the story. Artificial intelligence, AI, is becoming so convincing that even celebrities are speaking out. Ava Mendes, who is Ryan Gosling's wife, for those of you who don't know, recently called out a fake AI generated image showing Ryan Gosling in a scene that never actually happened, highlighting how difficult it's becoming to separate truth from fiction online. As AI images and videos improve, fans are increasingly asking what or who they can trust. So, why should we care about this? Well, the story really isn't about Ryan. It's about all of us. We're entering a world where our eyes may no longer be enough to determine what's real. And this, peeps, is where I come in because this is my wheelhouse. This is my expertise. We need to use critical thinking, critical discernment, and we need to use our intuition. And each and every one of you has it. Trust me when I say we all have intuition. So it's a matter of tapping into that and trusting ourselves. And I feel like maybe that's what AI is kind of secretly all about, is giving us the opportunity to learn how to trust ourselves over trusting everyone and everything else. So let's get to the tea. As AI becomes more convincing, how do we learn to trust our instincts, and I would also say our intuition, instead of our eyes? So, I mean, I've been, in woo-woo land for a really long time, and, I can give you all sorts of, I want to say, tools and tricks of the trade on how to do that. But at the end of the day, what I would say to you is take 5 minutes a day, close your eyes, do just some deep breathing. Have no intention other than to really get more connected to yourself. And over time, what's going to happen is you're going to start to hear little voices or see things in your mind's eye or feel things in your body when you are connecting in that way. And that's how your angels and guides connect with you. That's how you connect to that inner knowing. But let's pull a card on it and see what the cards have to say about how we can learn to trust our instincts. It's a process, it's over time, but it's all about our intention. When you sit down and you do that breathing exercise and you just close your eyes and connect with self, you set the intention that I want to be more in tune with myself. I want to be able to hear my true self speaking to me or my high self speaking to me. And then watch what happens. Watch the magic. It won't take very long before you'll be seeing some things. You'll be feeling some things. And oh my God, I love this. Okay. So of all the cards that I could have picked, I picked the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords, for traditional tarot readers, read this very differently than the way that I see this card. This card for me is an encouragement to, sorry, my AirPod is popping out of my ear. This is the encouragement to blindfold yourself so that you are not paying attention to what you're seeing. Instead, you're looking with your sixth sense. You're looking with your third eye. And I feel like this is just validation of what I was saying to you, is close your eyes to the things that you're seeing and witnessing and go within and feel what the truth is. That is going to make society so much better when everyone is a little more in touch and in tune with what their higher self is telling them than it is with what we're doing right now, where we're constantly giving away our power to, I want to say, expect other things other AI videos, other, people in supposed power to tell us how to think and what is right and what is wrong. If we want to make society a better place, if we want to be able to connect in the ways that feel good to us, we kind of have to take charge of that. And I feel like that Two of Swords is coming through to give us exactly that message. When you close your eyes to, I want to say, what you're being shown, and you really connect on an internal level with the core of you, you can't go wrong. And it's not about, I like to say sometimes we try to solve heart problems with the head. So we get all in our heads and we're trying to be all, logical and rational about things. Yes, sometimes that can be important, but I want to say that's secondary to that initial feeling. If you're looking at that video of Ryan Gosling, what does your Spidey sense tell you about it? Close your eyes for a second and just feel into your body. Does it feel like butterflies in your stomach, or does it feel like a lead balloon in your stomach or a rock in your stomach? Butterflies is exciting. That's a yes. A rock in your gut is a big fat no. So use your body to help you determine what feels right to you versus what you're being shown out in the world or what others are telling you how to feel. That's what that Two of Swords is coming into. And I'll just point out in this card here, she is sitting kind of in her own little, bubble or circle. And there's all of this electricity coming in around her. This is the energy that is around her, that comes from her, that is around her. And she's using it. She's alchemizing it to understand and to know the truth. And Swords energy is all about the truth. Ooh, I love this. You guys are getting a little hoobity floob. You're getting a little of that woo-woo stuff. So, take what works for you and leave the rest behind. But I promise you, if you do that 5 minutes every day, take the next week. Just make it a little challenge for yourself. I guarantee you will be more in touch with the core of you, the essence of you, and it'll be fun. All right, let's get to the truth beneath this story. Why are humans so quick to believe the stories that confirm what they already want to believe? All right, guys. I don't know how much of this is Spidey Sense or if this is just, what Stacy kind of observes or believes. So, we'll call it kind of a blend of the two. But I really believe that so many people feel so disenfranchised, feel so disempowered. They've been taught to not trust their visions or to not trust what they feel on the inside, that it's, more important to go along and get along. Than it is to maybe go against the grain, but to do something that feels more right with you, more resonant with you. So I believe that humans are quick to believe the stories that confirm what they already want to believe, because there's a part of us that, tries to stay one of the crowd. We want to belong. We want to be connected with one another. I also feel that there are people out there that like to choose the narrative for everyone, because it's easier for everyone to just conform to what they want than it is for them to have to change and grow the way most of us do. So I feel like there's a little bit of a challenge here that our angels and guides are sharing with us, that the universe is encouraging us to look at. And that is, ask yourself the question, why are you so quick to believe these stories, right? And maybe that's why you're watching this show, because you're looking for a different perspective. You're looking for a reason to be able to trust yourself and trust your inner knowing, whether that's by agreeing with what is coming through or whether that's not agreeing with it, you're receiving information around it. And I think that's really cool. So let's see what the cards have to say about it. Interesting. Knight of Cups. So this is actually, you can't make this shit up, peeps. These cards just really are matching the questions. Why are humans so quick to believe the stories that confirm what they already want to believe? Because it's kind of romantical. Because it's this ideal. Like, we'd love to be able to believe in the good in people. We'd love to be able to believe that everything is sunshine and daisies and wine and roses. We'd love to believe that everything we can take at face value and trust and know, because that would be easier. We wouldn't have to work hard at reconnecting with ourselves and those core aspects of ourselves. The Knight of Cups is the romantic. The Knight of Cups is the knight on white shining, the white knight with shining armor coming up to rescue you or to save the day. People feel sometimes so disempowered. But if we really knew how powerful we were, we would not be looking outside of ourselves for someone to save us. We would understand that we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are here to save ourselves. Wow, the cards are speaking big truth, big time truth today. Okay, this is my favorite part, mirror work. So this is the segment of pop culture readings, of course, where I love to challenge each of us. You know, we're talking about all these celebrities and all of these situations that are happening out in the world. Well, how can we apply that wisdom? You know, wisdom is a nothing burger unless you apply it. So here's what we want to focus on today. When was the last time your intuition knew something before the evidence did? This is a big one. So many of us feel something, receive something, hear something, notice something. And because they're looking around and nobody else seems to be tuned into that, we automatically go to the, oh, I must be making it up, or I must be crazy. Like, that can't possibly be. You might just keep it to yourself. Maybe you shout it from the rooftops and everybody tells you that you're a little cuckoo, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Whatever it is, it's like intuition is not always honored or revered or respected as something that should be taken seriously. But we need to change that. So look at your life and ask yourself, okay, where in your life do you receive all these intuitive hits, but maybe you dismiss it? Stop dismissing it. Lean into it. Because I guarantee you, each and every one of you has had, at the very least, one intuition that happened, in a week that actually was the right thing. It came true, or it happened, or it was exactly what you knew needed to be said or spoken. And there was no proof in it, but the proof came after the experience. Each of us has that power and ability. All right, let's see what card wants to support us, the Chariot. So the Chariot card is the card of victory. It is the card that is like hard won victory. And I feel like when we're talking about intuition and trusting your intuition, it's not about going into battle, but it's like defending your intuition like you would defend your fur baby or a small child in danger. You want to really get into that of believing that your intuition is there for a reason. Your intuition is there to protect you, to keep you safe, to help you to apply wisdom and knowledge, to help you to avoid situations that you don't really want. Maybe to give you a little heads up so that you can help others around you avoid certain things, dangers or situations or hurts. And it's not about enabling and keeping people from lessons they've learned. You're receiving that intuition for a reason. Maybe it's just for you. Maybe it's for everyone around you. Who knows? Only you can tell, because you are inviting your intuition to lead the ship, right? That's you're leading with your intuition. And then your head and your heart will follow and will enact those wishes. So intuition is where it's at. And I feel like the Chariot is leading that, I don't want to say battle necessarily, but let's just call it what it is, right? Sometimes it can be a battle to trust your intuition over your ego voice, right? And sometimes it requires a lot of courage to do so, especially if the rest of the room thinks you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But that doesn't matter. Choose that courage and lean in anyway. You won't be disappointed. All right, guys. So that is our pop culture reading for this segment. Remember, curiosity gets us in the door. Clarity helps us understand what we're seeing, and courage is what we do with what we've learned. Until I see you for another episode of Pop Culture Reading, sending lots of love and lots of support. We will see you on the flip side, and transform well.